Hey, it's Random Pop Culture News Freak over here, aka MannyTendoWolverine, guys, and the rest of interest now towards, of course, obviously towards the channel, playing Horizon Forbidden West. I want to talk about this one real quick. The gaming preservation shit is real, and follow me on all my links, obviously allmylinks.com, for my all my media platforms, BitChute, Brighteon, Odyssey, Rumble, and even other shit I barely use, like Twitter once in a while now, Tumblr, extremely rare. So yeah, Horizon Forbidden West, I'm just going to get into it, jumping this, because a lot of people are getting hated on this. The gaming reviewer fools like Polygon Kotaku, I'm not surprised, because there's the whole policy BS crap that's involved with it. So, real quick, before I get into the gaming preservation, 3DS and Wii U, last week, Wednesday, Thursday, they were announcing. I know I'd completely missed out on this bitch, but I had to. The Wii U and 3DS are all going to be completely deleted this summer and fall. Or the end of the beginning or early next year, 2023. And the gaming preservation is 100% real. Get your Raspberry Pis out and your old mini Switches and mini Segas, because we'll never be able to play video games again if they keep getting deleted like this over and over. Nintendo just doesn't give a crap, man. And it breaks my heart to say, as a big Nintendo old school fan, as a 90s, 2000 fan, and for the GameCube, that's fucking sad. So it says, I'm probably going to have to split this thing in half, so we'll start Horizon Forbidden West soon. I have real negative reviews. This wouldn't be, got a credit card to Square, I don't know who wrote it, but got a credit to them. Would be a major video game release without exhibiting embarrassing behavior. Horizon Forbidden West has quietly ranking out disapproval. I'm going to have to keep my lower voice lower because my roommate's going to be sleeping pretty soon and coming home from work pretty soon. Negative reviews on Metacritic overnight, and while still holding steadily overall the US scores, 0 to 10 obviously beginning to look disingenuous. Many of you may recall Last of Us Part 2, an eye-rolling social media scandal. Oh, that was a real big one in 2019-2020. That was super bad with Last of Us 2. And it had a lot of SJW, anti-social shit and cancel culture crap in there, and it was really, really bad for the whole Yahtzee stuff. Says, of course, there's no targeted campaign against Aloy's sophomore year outing this time. It's just what people being silly. Probably, quote, probably the biggest disappointment in a while. One of the users wrote 80. So out of the hour or less, 24 hours of its release, I have very high expectations. The story is unimaginably, gaming is very boring, and even laugh graphically are underwhelming. Really dropped the ball here. After the affirmation, as we say that The Last of Us Part 2, Metacritic did plead alterations using source systems with the global goal being preserved or being prevented from this happening again. Unfortunately, it looks like 2 years later, that much time and effort's come on go. It's insane. Nothing has changed. Of course, we all know how the user score is from the website's complete waste of time and still may influence less engaging players and may look like Horizon Forbidden West's ratings are taking a battering. Of course, the title is not without criticism. The platforming is finicky and your usually usual open world is janky. I didn't know it was janky. That sucks. I mean, the loading time's crap as hell. It's sad if that's true. But we love this title overall in our review. Any other mere quibbles may have melted away with the game's firing on all cylinders or cylinders. The gorgeous, wildly fun action RPG game, and there's nothing else quite like it, unquote. If you're just getting started this weekend, then be sure to check out Horizon Forbidden West Guide or any help on your own times. Yeah, the overall thoughts, these minutes, real quick stuff here. I can't say if it's good or bad game because I haven't played any of it. I haven't watched any gameplay of it yet. Plus, I can't because I don't have a PS5, which is a B word. I could play it on my PS4 Pro, but money's been tight for me lately. So this comes from Sammy Barker. 0 out of 10 apparently. If that's true, man, I feel so bad for the other fools that real hardcore fans like me. I was a fan of Horizon Forbidden West for a while, or Zero Dawn for the first one. Hopefully, if this gets cut out, I'll just make a separate video on this. Real 2 small videos this week. It's in case my microphone screws. It says 3DS and Wii U eShop closed sadly this week in business. So if I don't get to this later, I'll talk to you guys in the second part of the video if my microphone F's up badly and screws up immensely. Alright? Okay, so as I was saying before, ladies and gentlemen, bros, women, fanboys, and bangers, talking about it. Let's begin. Let's get it started. Let's jump into it. I got time to do DS, and it's probably not coming out all the way till Friday or Saturday now, because I effed up immensely. IRL. Had to take care of 2 big ass things. State and body all IRS. I swear to God, I'm not doing tax evasiveness or nothing. I swear. Trust and believe that, my friends. Anyways, yeah. I'm not going to read the first half because it comes from Brendan Sinclair from GamesIndustry.biz, bro. It's been a literal, good solid 3 months the last time I read anything more or less from GamesIndustry.biz. I like a lot of their content. And I'm not going to read the first 2.5 paragraphs. I'm just going to try to make this as quick as possible because I got Rumi sleeping in the background. Like I told you, the second half of this video is probably going to be really, really quiet. So you might have to adjust your volumes to maximum if you want to hear me completely talk a little bit better and a little bit more louder than I normally am, of course. And this one just talks about, oh, they saved the video game industry in like 1983 or 87, and then it was founded in 1889, so I'm not reading this part, just gives you a little brief history of Nintendo, and where they're at now in 2022, sadly. So it says, is a business monumental in life in itself? Is absurd the total reasonability to have? No. Well-deserved things for company owners to play Horizon Forbidden West music, but it is what it is. It's beautiful, tear-jerking music. Of course, I'm not going to cry from it. So it says, the decision is doubly a pragmatic one. These systems have been discontinued, and the vast majority of players have more into the Switch and more options by now. The revenues generated by these storefronts and likely no longer justifies the legal and technical cost of running, maintaining, securing, and providing for the support for them. There is an argument that to make one of these costs wouldn't be justified in simply keeping so many of the games available in any form of it at all. The entire franchise, Pushmo puzzle games franchise. I don't know what Pushmo is supposed to mean. I have no idea what that is. No, that's an indie company or something that's Brendan Sinclair made up out of words of his own brain and thought in his butt. Let's continue. To exist solely downloadable titles onto the 3DS and Wii U. I swear to God, I'm gonna do an ASMR. I swear. My roommate was freaking goddamn sleeping in the background. I had to be a little bit more extra loud. I swear to you guys, like I was earlier. Rusty's real deal begins at baseball franchise Nintendo's experimental free-to-play. Oh god. You know it's not free-to-play because you gotta deal with these giant jewels, cosmetics, and microtransaction, diarrhea, excrement, and yet the god-awful freaking disgusting addition to one of those payments from your debit credit card or cryptocurrency people use that for the future stuff. When the eShops shut down, that goes with them. So did Dylan's role in Western, Dr. Luigi, Mario, Donkey Kong, minus the Move and plenty of others. And that's not only to say that only third-party exclusives are indie titles on the platform, many of them which provide a preserve throughout emulation or accurately re-release on other systems thanks to the way that they use Nintendo's unique hardware features. Hundreds of virtual consoles from Nintendo system are older platforms like TurboGrafx 16 and Game Gear are also disappearing. I had no idea. Game Gear is super, super ancient. By the way, if any of you guys were, I think it was 2000 or 2003, so 1999 to 03, maybe 04 at the latest, 05, because I was like 2006, 07, I remember it was mid-late 2000s, those were the PlayStation Portables, I think, 06, 07, so I was in my mid-late teens at the time, so I think they kind of birthed from the N-Gage to the Game Gear all the way up to Neo Geo Pocket, and then way up to the PSP, and then later on PS Vita, and I was up for the handheld pocket era of video game stuff. Beautiful time to be alive at that time. If any of you guys grew up the same way I did in your late 20s, early mid-30s right now. So let's continue. For the Virtual Console and Nintendo Switch Online, a lot of those games are so iconic too. I don't even know you could find a few of them on emulation anymore. Those are probably have gone to the digital dust lane. I don't know. In the cloud. Or sadly, it could get deleted anytime. But let's continue. Nintendo Switch Online subscription services. Stat almost 1,000. No more digital exclusive. No longer be available in the PS and Wii U eShops when it goes dark, as determined by VGC Video Game Chronicles. That's a lot of kids' memories there, man. It really is. That hurts, bro. I know, like, you'll be able to physically own it. At least you could get a Raspberry Pi or download, like, digital background, like, disc, so you can, old school disc, so you can have these video games forever, and that's it for gaming preservation. I'm telling you, I'm not even a hardcore advocate for gaming preservation. I've slowly become passionate about this shit, and it hurts to see a lot of my childhood burn into the digital system like that, and I'll never get it ever again physically. You always have to depend on the freaking online services, microtransaction, digital. It'll never be you owning anything. It's extremely sad. Own nothing you will like it. Be happy. It's super, super scary, grim shit. 2030. I'm not gonna get into that thing, but I'm gonna stop in this 3 and that's it. Many ways what's happening is barely different from what happened at all the other times of previous generation. Most box games will have a shelf life measured in months rather than years. More than a brief window of availability was passed, and they would become functionality unattainable for new players unless they got lucky with the stock in a local Funko land and were willing to pay a premium shipping on eBay once it didn't exist. Clearly that wasn't an ideal system, and accessibility to games was on the whole significantly worse back in the day. No doubt it shit your luck. The industry went online and did not need to be that way anymore. The constraints of physical scarcity disappearing as digital distribution took over, a shift that happened with incredible speed. Oh yeah, massive amounts of speed. Who would have saw that coming? Futurists and future tech people in Silicon Valley, big tech. Half of them are probably evil, and you know what? Probably a bunch of cult leaders that worship the devil. Who knows? I have no idea. It was only 10 years ago this week that the PlayStation Vita launched in the US, at least. It was the first major system to have all physical games available digitally, as well as from day one. That's what so many of its decisions. Nintendo has never done normal things with its online gaming, but not even recognize the demand on online gaming. I switched with the system-wide achievements system with the competitors to friend codes to me. I never liked them on the Wii U era, the friend codes. Those annoying the little crap. I mean, even gave me a few migraines and headaches. Just get this friend code, get that friend code, get this other friend code. Just it's a fucking jamble, man. It was just a tongue twister. It was just like a nasty knot of a bunch of cables mixed up together in a Rubik's Cube. You had to freaking solve to get all the little cables out of a bunch of mix, I don't know, smartphones, cell phones, or all your digital electronic devices. It was a freaking gosh darn hassle. Nasty hassle. It was a kick in the nuts with a steel toe boot to me personally. Let's continue. Nintendo's never been afraid to be as weird with an online strategy. I think it's in the whole Microsoft, Sony, PS4, PS5 shit. I'll get into that. That's why I hoped that his different approach to the 3DS and Nintendo's Wii U eShops, even though it shuttered its original downloadable storefront with the Wii U in 2019. It's literally almost 3 years ago now. It's not normal to move. It's obviously as expected, even though it's shutting down its online stores. Actually making Nintendo the odd one out here. I mean, this 1 step forward, 10 steps back. That's all I gotta say for now, and I'm done here. Half my childhood gets delayed, but if you got a Raspberry Pi, or you got the little Nintendo Minis, or SNES Minis, or Sega Minis, and even the PS1 Mini, if you have any ways to do modifications, you modify that and you get extra video games on the internet from that, you'll have the video games forever in those things. Even though it's just digitally, you'll be able to have gaming preservation like that. If it can hold up to maybe 50 or 100 games, so just 20 or 30. If you have known ones that know soldering like skills, and puts even more and more video games and more extra memory chips and memory banks into those games, you'll be able to keep those games forever. And that's it. It's the only way we'll be able to play our old school games ever again. That's all I was saying. I'm done here. I'm sorry if it was a little bit more quiet, but I had to do it. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen, bros. No, links to both these videos if you want, these channels if you got this information on. That's it. Peace out, ladies and gents, fanboys, fans, talking about it. As soon as see you guys a day of night, whatever here's others, there's more channel, there's video game industry news, TikTok, Twitter, just YouTube drama news, reaction videos once in a while, and that's it. Take it easy, deuces, I'm out. Leave it nice, you know, just stay safe. I'm going later.